And we're live, and this looks very dark. That's not what I was expecting. Let me turn on some more light here. That's a little better. Well, I was going to record this outside in the bright light of outside. I was all ready to do that, and that was my plan. And as I got ready to record outside, there was a neighbor who was outside who was talking very loudly about some kind of dispute that they were having with someone. And that's totally where they're at, apparently. That's what they're experiencing right now. It just didn't seem like they nor I would want that to be part of our live stream today. And so I moved inside right here, and it's not lit very well. And I hope that you all will forgive that and enjoy this experience with the lighting as it is. Okay, so I want to celebrate some things here. I want to. Sorry, I can hear myself talking from the other room right now because my family's watching this in the next room, and it's louder than my own voice almost, and so it's hard for me to talk with the echo on myself. So just give me a sec to just kind of breathe and recollect myself and be able to do this well. Okay, so I really want to turn these live streams into a true celebration. And I asked last time, a month ago during this live stream, if any of you had any ideas about what would help this truly be a celebration. And the replies I got from people, well, from one person, was that to celebrate success and celebrate progress. And that is, I think, a wonderful idea. And so in the chat, I'd like anyone here to write in the chat right now, and in the chat, tell us about ways in which during the last season, which was the season of healing and the season of creating solutions, how did you experience healing last season? How did you experience create solutions? Please put that in the chat so that we can celebrate that. And if you're watching this in a group, please feel free to put a bunch of messages in the chat about everyone so we can celebrate everything. And the plan here is that I'm going to read whatever people put in the chat, read out loud, and then I'm gonna go hooray to celebrate it. And I invite everyone watching to say hooray with me. If we were all in a big group, this would actually be really fun because we'd all like to go hooray and we'd hear it all at once. We're not, so we'll have to feel our hoorays across space and time. But yeah, so I wanna say I wanna do that. So we'll start. Charlotte wrote, "I fixed my relationship with my brothers." So if you all right now can just say with me at the same time, 3, 2, 1, hooray! Good job, Charlotte. We're happy for you. And so I myself, what I've experienced is that I have really healed in terms of my relationship with exercise. I find exercise to be a much more positive experience than it used to be. And so if you all say hooray with me, I really appreciate that. So hooray! Another thing that has happened is that I wanted to share something from my mom. She was going to be on this live stream with us, but she got double scheduled and wasn't able to do it. But when she said I could share something she experienced this week, her and I I were on the phone together, and I was helping her with the meditation, using meditation to help her. And she powerfully experienced during the meditation being able to forgive herself and being able to love herself and let go of shame. And she said it was just amazing. And it felt really amazing to me too. Hooray! Yeah, I'd love to hear more things. So if other people can write in the chat how you experienced healing and how you experienced solutions being created. I'm just going to wait a sec for people to write. And while I'm waiting, I invite us to just celebrate stillness. Take this moment to just celebrate being in a room with yourself and the people around you and breathing and just being. While we're all just celebrating being, anyone else that wants to can write in the chat things we can celebrate. Will says, I started helping around the house more. That's really good. That's a good sort of healing thing to do for a family. So let's go ahead and say, hooray! And Charlotte asked a question. She says, what did you say? I missed it. So far, what we've been doing is just celebrating people's things. And I was just giving everyone time, just being really still and celebrating stillness while waiting for anyone else to write that wanted to write anything, wanted to celebrate. I think I'm going to go ahead and move forward now. We're going to move forward with a little meditation. And the meditation that we're going to do now is an opportunity to learn a little bit about serenity. The emotion season, and serenity is an emotional state we can get to. We just feel totally peaceful and serene. And it's like, I don't know, for me, serenity is peace and added, it's like, but if peace is a nice soft gray, then serenity is silver. Peace has a certain metallic, royal, transcendent godliness added to it on top of just peace when you take peace to serenity. And I want to help us experience some serenity today and enjoy it. Just go ahead and close your eyes with me and breathe. And as you breathe, just enjoy the chance and not have any of your worries with you now. You're just here, just being. And have the intention to be able to use this breathing, this meditation, to help yourself discover serenity. Seek, and ye shall find. Ask, and it shall be given unto you. If you want serenity, you will find it. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the peacemakers, those seeking serenity, those making serenity and peace. I don't remember. What are the peacekeepers blessed with? Let's go to the I want to look at the Beatitudes real quick. There's probably a lesson there about serenity. Let's look at the Beatitudes together that Jesus taught, what we call the Sermon on the Mount. Let's see what they teach us about serenity and peace real quick. And you can just keep breathing through this with the intention of receiving serenity while I read this out loud. I think the Beatitudes are full of lessons about serenity and peace and how we receive it. Blessed are the poor in spirit. I think we can take the word spirit, we can think of it not as like spirituality, but as the egotistical spirit that spirit, not like spirit. You sometimes use spirit not to talk about spirits, not talk about the spirit that animates our body, but talk about like a fighting spirit, right? We got a fighting spirit. Like you talk about that, whatever it is that animates us. And I think when we talk about poor in spirit, we can talk about poor in egotistical spirit, poor in like that edge underneath everything. Blessed are the poor in ego, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers. We're going to make some peace by seeking serenity right now, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs are the kingdom of heaven. It even says to rejoice and be glad when you're persecuted. In other words, when someone has malintent towards you and is doing something malicious towards you, if you can be in a state of serenity, then you can, even while someone is being an enemy to you, is trying to harm you, in a state of serenity, you can be in this place where it doesn't reach you, where they're trying to hurt you, but you're just in heaven. And their words just fall to the floor, unable to harm you. And you're untouchable because of what you create inside yourself. It's not the same as putting up walls to block feelings. Like it's not. Sometimes we try to become untouchable by putting up walls around our heart, where we say, oh, I don't feel anything towards anyone, so they can't hurt me. Because when we do that, we're hurting ourselves. This is different. In a state of serenity, we don't have ego, and we just forgive everyone openly. And as a result, when people hurt us or try to hurt us, we're able to say, I forgive them, but they know not what they do. And we don't take it personally. And we just kind of go through with serenity and grace. Now, in order to do this, though, this isn't something you can just choose to turn on automatically. That'll make a difference, right? Seek and ye shall find. If it's something that you want, and you keep that as your focus, that I want to have that serenity, then over time, you will naturally be led and moved through a process that'll get you to that state. That will happen. If your eye is on that goal, then it will come together. I promise that. And there's a process you have to go through. You can't just choose to turn it on if your body is full of trapped emotions that stop you from receiving it. Because what happens is you want to experience serenity, but there's all these trapped emotions that get triggered. And so something happens and it disrupts your serenity because the stuff trapped in you is reacting or responding to things people do or things that happen in your life. And so you can't have serenity because there's things in you that they're too busy getting triggered by every little thing. And that's great. So when those things get triggered, you can say, thank you for showing up today and letting me know that you're there. And then you can process those feelings and then be left with serenity afterwards. And as you process more and more and more of those feelings, serenity will become more and more and more your natural state of being. And it takes time. Let's practice. And my experience, though, is that a lot of times after you process some things, your body your body just gives you serenity for a little while as a little reward to say, look, you're doing it. But then some time passes and feelings come up again because there's still more stuff to take care of. You're not at a state where you're ready to just be serenity all the time, but you get glimpses of it along the way to keep you motivated and keep you going. Now, let's right now let go of some of the stuff in us that's blocking serenity. Why not? Let's just do it. So go ahead and close your eyes. Set your intention. Say to yourself, my intention is serenity. And breathe. And ask yourself, what emotions in me block serenity today? Where are they in my body? And just notice what parts of your body become tight right now. Just be aware of that and accept that it's true. I'm noticing tightness right here. Sorry, you can't. Your eyes look like you can't see, but in my like around my eyes and nose and cheeks. That's where I'm experiencing tightness. I'm also experiencing some tightness in my like on the left side of my back. Do I have any tightness anywhere else? I think that's all for today. So wherever you're experiencing tightness, go ahead now and imagine that you're handed like a little vial full of a really special potion, like a medicine. And this medicine reacts with the tightness in your body. And when you add it to the spots that are tight, it's gonna start to fizzle and boil up, kind of like hydrogen peroxide, right? It's gonna fizzle in that spot, and it's gonna react with the tightness in your body, and it's gonna create like an acidic kind of hydrogen peroxide like reaction. And you're gonna just let that happen and let it sit there with those spots. But then as you sit long enough, it's gonna dissolve that tension away and then leave that area very peaceful and loose, relaxed. This is symbolic, right? Just for those who just jumped in. This is a symbolic vial, about not a real medicine. We're visualizing it. So imagine, or be aware of just taking that medicine and put it on the spots, put it into your body in the spots that you felt that tightness. And then just be aware of the medicine fizzling and reacting with the tightness. Just let it do its thing. As it reacts to the tightness, the energy of the tightness needs to go somewhere. And so it just disperses through your body and goes to whatever places in your body it helps you to be. And then other parts of it that aren't helpful to your body just leave your body. And the energy goes somewhere else, somewhere that's better for you and better for it. The energy is always going to exist. It's just a matter of it being dispersed to the best places. If you've noticed any new tight places, go ahead and just visualize the medicine being put in those places too, and let them just fizzle up with the acid of it and be dispersed. Enjoy the sensation of the healing. As it disperses, see if you can notice what feeling it was in that spot that's being dispersed. As these emotions that were blocking peace fade away and fizzle away, you're left with serenity. Celebrate the serenity. Enjoy it. When you're ready, have the intention this serenity will become a part of your normal, everyday consciousness. Gradually open your eyes and let your everyday experience and this serenity merge into one. Okay. Something that will be good now is if you have something to write on, that'd be good to grab now. So So take a moment to grab something to write on. This is also a great time to write any questions in the chat. So if there's any questions you have in the chat, go ahead and write those, particularly questions about processing emotions. I will gladly answer the questions. And go ahead and grab something that you can write on. You're going to want that for what we're going to do after the question period. So now it's time to ask questions, then we'll do writing. Just watching the chat, waiting for anyone that wants to ask a question. In the meantime, we're just enjoying stillness here, celebrating the stillness. I don't see any questions today, and that's great. Let me just kind of look inside my intuition and see if there's any questions that I sense are important for me to answer. People might have in their hearts, whoever watched this. Nope. Okay, I think it's time to do the next thing. So we're a week into the emotion season. It's the first Sunday of the season, but the season started, 6 days ago on Monday, so about a weekend. We're celebrating the emotion season. And what I want to do now is use meditation to help each of us discover for ourselves what fulfills our yearnity this season. What is it? What are the ways in which we'll grow, or the kinds of experiences to be good for each of us to have during this season that most fulfills our yearnity, that most brings out our yearning for that unity or our yearning for our potential. And I'm going to do a little meditation. It's going to help us to discover that. And the reason I asked you to have something to write with, and I have something here to write with, is that after I want you to have a chance to write it down. So we'll discover this through meditation. And after we discover it, I think I advise everyone to write down what it is you discover. And then everyone who's willing, I invite everyone to put it in the chat, whatever it is that you learned. And we're going to celebrate ahead of time the ways that we've grown this season. From a 4-dimensional or 5th-dimensional or eternal perspective, whatever way we learn that we're going to grow has already happened. And so we can celebrate it today as if it already happened, because it really already has happened. And celebrating something in the future helps it to come to be. So go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and close your eyes with me so we can discover what fulfills our yearnity. And be aware deep down inside yourself, in your belly. Be aware of like a treasure chest in your belly. And this treasure chest contains the knowledge of what fulfills your yearnity this season. And you stand there thinking about whether or not you'll open the chest. You might feel a little apprehensive about opening the chest for some reason. And if you do, that's okay. Take a moment. When you think about opening the chest and discovering what fulfills your unity, take a moment to notice what parts of your body become tight. See if you can notice, if you can give a name to the feeling in that part of your body. In my body, I feel at this time, I feel tightness in my lower back. And when I look at the lower back and look at that tightness, the words that come to my head are apprehension and guilt. And that makes sense to me. I feel apprehensive about what I'm going to learn. And I already feel guilty about maybe not doing it. That sounds like me. That makes sense to me that I respond that way. Notice for you though, wherever you feel tight, what is the source of that tightness? What part of you resists knowing your unity for the season, and why do you resist that? Moment to become aware of that. Maybe write it down if it's helpful. Now, again, be aware of that medicine that dissolves unhelpful feelings. Put the medicine into your part of your body where the tightness is. Just let it dissolve it away. The energy of that emotion becomes dispersed. You are healed, experience peace, and then serenity. Be aware of yourself opening the box that contains the knowledge of what fulfills your unity this season. Just be aware of what's there. Perhaps you'll see an image in your mind, your spiritual vision, or your imagination. Maybe just words come to your head. Just let it present itself to you in any way, or just kind of a gut feeling. Let your unity be presented in any way that works for you. And write down what it is that you learn that fulfills your unity this season. And when you're ready, you can add to the chat what it is you learned. If some of the details aren't appropriate to share publicly, that's really understandable. But I invite you to write. You can kind of like be a little more vague. Write it to whatever degree you feel comfortable, so that we can celebrate the success that you are going to have this season. I'll write mine. felt to reflect and be very, very honest about my ego. Like really see my ego in ways that maybe I apparently have not been able to be honest about before. And then root that out. Pull it out, just like you pull roots out, you pull out a plant. Which I think means that I need to get to the very bottom of like what traumas, what false beliefs, what ancestral things, what are like the real root causes of that aspect of ego, and like really take care of those things. And I have total confidence that that is something that's going to happen in the next 3 weeks, and I'm going to celebrate it right now. I'm going to say I was this season. I was successful at rooting out my ego and being honest about it. Hooray! You know the word hooray? I looked it up because I was curious, because I was getting ready for this. I want to know what hooray means exactly. Hooray evolved from the word huzzah, which was like a sailor word. So sailors would say huzzah. And over time, huzzah changed into hooray. And hooray and huzzah mean the same thing. It's just an expression of joy and rejoicing. That's all it is. I'd love to see what things you guys feel you're going to fulfill your unity this season. Please put it in the chat, and I will we'll celebrate the stillness and the silence a little bit while we wait for people to type. I appreciate that, Will. Will says I didn't notice anything. That's understandable. And I get that sometimes an exercise like this can put like weird pressure on people. And I really appreciate you being vulnerable and saying that, so that can be acknowledged. You know, it can be like, okay, like for me, just where I'm at in my progression right now and just where I'm at with my spiritual gifts, if I stop and I just ask what fills my unity, I just always get an answer. And I've learned good tools that work for me to check those answers and make sure that that they're coming from truly coming from my higher self, and they're not coming from my ego or from beings of darkness. Like I have pretty good safeguards in place and techniques to make sure that I check that. But I get that we're all at different places and have different gifts. And for some people, just being able to just getting an answer that easily about what fills a unity is just not going to come so easily. So I think I want to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to say a series of things that I feel to say in my heart, of ways that people who listening to this or people who might listen to it later, I'm going to say some statements that would describe ways that people listening to this are likely to grow this season. And I invite you to say hooray or huzzah with me after each one. I invite you to say it out loud. There's something about articulating out loud that's like really liberating, really powerful. So I invite you to say that with me. And then as I say these, it might be that one of the things I say really stands out to you as a way that you're called to grow this season. If something I say stands out to you that way as being unique to you and belonging to you, then you might write that down and hang on to it. All right, so I'm going to say some ways we're going to grow. And after each one, we'll yell hooray or huzzah together. Maybe I'll go hooray, huzzah. That's fun. You get both. Two joy, double joy. Okay, first of all, this season we learned to understand what we're feeling better. Hooray! Huzzah! This season, we learn to be more intentional, to use more self-control in how we act on our emotions. Hooray! Huzzah! This season, we learned to notice more little intricate details about what makes each feeling we feel unique. Hooray! Huzzah! This season, we let ourselves enjoy and experience each emotion. This season, when we were happy, when we felt love, when we were enjoying anything about the world or environment, we let ourselves really be present and enjoy and feel those things without fear without letting fear keep us from like really feeling that, without letting ego or impatience keep us from really feeling the goodness of what we felt. We did that. Hooray! Huzzah! This season, we even learned to accept and in some ways even enjoy feelings like sadness and anger and fear, heartache, stress, like these feelings that we often avoid. This season, we learned how to actually accept and fully experience, and in some dimensions, even enjoy those feelings as a unique experience. Hooray! Huzzah! This season, we had the courage to express our true feelings, even when it was hard to do so. Hooray! Huzzah! Those are some pretty awesome things we experienced in August of 2024. August 2024 was a great time in eternity. It's a good time to be. Thank you all for joining me here today. I want to really feel the feelings of this moment. And so I'm just going to sit here now and enjoy the stillness, enjoy just being in this room in the aftermath of what we've experienced together. I'm going to celebrate that and invite you to just sit here a little bit with me and celebrate that too before you log off. And if there's anything else you want to ask or say, feel free to put it in the comments and maybe I'll say a little more. So it's not frozen. We're just not used to stillness. even though it's light out, there's crickets where I am, and I can hear the crickets very quietly when I'm very quiet. It's very peaceful. It's a wonderful feeling. So much joy and interesting feelings to have in each little moment. We just stop, let ourselves feel them. Enjoy the season. In other words, put joy in it. Enjoy your best self, one season at a time. Goodbye.